Hello, welcome to the replay. Every time something always goes wrong. Whatever. We rocking with it. Hey y'all. Say hey in the comments. Let me know that you are tuning in. I am broadcasting across a couple of social channels and I want to know who's where. So say hey in the comments. So if this is your first time tuning into one of my broadcasts, if this was shared with you by someone who thinks it could be helpful, hey, my name is Monique James and I work with business owners who are good at what they do, but they're tired of trying to figure out or having to guess about what to do when it comes to their marketing. I help them plug the gaps in their strategies so they can grow their businesses with confidence. And as a bonus, we use AI to help us to do the heavy lifting. So, in this conversation, I want to talk about what could be missing in your marketing strategy. Because I'm in this AI space, uh, the conversations about the tools, it's a lot, right? Every 5 minutes, there's a new tool. Like every 5 minutes, there's a new tool or a new this or a new that. And if you if your marketing isn't doing what you want it to do in this current season of your business, I can understand how one would think, well, I just need to find the perfect tool or the right tool. This tool, that tool, the whatever tool. I get it. What I want to offer and talk about in this conversation is, what if it's not the tool? What if it will never be the tool? What if there are gaps in your marketing strategy that you can fix that will allow you to use any tool as long as it aligns with what you want to have done or what you want your marketing to do for you? The tool conversation is a trap. And I don't if you're stuck there, like, I want to help you get out of it. So I am about a week out from coming back from the Jim Moran Institute conference in St. Pete. I uh, led a session about AI, leveraging AI in content strategy. And this conversation pulls from that session because anytime I'm in conversation with people or witnessing conversations with business owners talking about AI, it always goes to the tools. It does. And I get it. Again, the tools are sexy, it's new, it's fast, it's trendy. Like, I get it. I understand that. But I feel like the tools, getting caught up in the tools is a distraction because the tools can't actually lead. You as the leader lead. And you can't lead your brand, whether you are doing your marketing yourself, whether you have in-house marketing support, or you work with a marketing vendor or contractor. You can't lead them without some clarity in your brand. And so when I talk about brand clarity, I am talking about the filter for every message, every move, every piece of content or marketing messages that you put out is filtered through your brand, your ability to be clear about your brand. I'm talking about knowing exactly who your brand is, knowing what you believe and really understanding that and grounding your marketing in that. And then communicating that consistently across the platforms that you leverage for marketing. What I'm talking about is deeper than your logo or your tagline. This piece comes before that. This piece allows you to know and to be guided in designing your logo or figuring out what that logo is, or in arriving at the tagline that's really going to resonate. It's the understanding of what makes your brand meaningful and memorable, right? It's being able to articulate your message so that your intended customer feels seen, heard, understood, acknowledged. It's having like this guiding belief that shapes everything that you do. It shapes your marketing decisions. It shapes your content. And I believe when you don't have that brand clarity, your marketing is reactive and not proactive. It's inconsistent and it's exhausting. It's exhausting without that clarity. When you have that clarity, your marketing is grounded in something. It's tight, it's cohesive, it's confident, and then it does the thing that you want it to do. And I believe my marketing consulting framework, uh, brand clarity is a combination of your character, your brand's character, your customers. We are big on intended customer personas over here, and your content system. It's the three C's. Those three things are what you need to include in that process of getting to brand clarity. So, what I want to do is pull up a slide. I showed this exact slide during my session at the JMI conference. And if you are watching this replay on Instagram, it's not going to quite translate, but that's okay. You can jump on YouTube, Facebook, or LinkedIn to see it. So, when I talk about brand character, there's 7 different elements that make up brand character. I talked about during the session these 3, and I want to share this information with you. These 3 elements are included in the character of your brand, which, as I said, is that first benchmark in the clarity that you're looking for in your marketing. So when I say story, what do I mean? Just what you think I mean. Your origin, the why your brand exists. It's it's the way you allow your audience to remember you beyond what you sell. I have talked a lot in my content about being a veteran, being a veteran spouse, starting an event planning business, getting into entrepreneurship after being denied a raise at my corporate job, and starting an event planning business that turned into a confidence coaching business that gave birth to my marketing consulting business. All of those things make up the story. They allow people to remember me, remember my brand beyond the product. It actually adds context because all of those pieces of the story lead to and shape the offers, right? So when you think about story, a brand that I think does this really well is Patagonia. If you've, I am not an outdoorsy person. Like I did my time sleeping outside in the army. I'm not doing that now. Patagonia does a really good job of leveraging the journey of their founder and the mission and how its mission shapes every decision that it makes. I need you to start thinking about pulling out uh, examining, leveraging those elements of your story. The second piece of your brand's character is your core message. This is the belief that you repeat over and over and over and over and over and over again. You say this, you repeat this in a variety of ways all the time. You say this all the time. This is the thing that allows your people to be like, they they resonate with it even before you've presented them with the thing that you are selling. They're like, okay, I agree. Dove, the I don't know, are they technically a cosmetics company? I don't know. Their a core message of their brand is real beauty. They use unretouched photos of mostly women in their advertisements. They talk about real beauty and why that's important. Think about what is the core message of your brand? What is the thing that you want to get your audience before they become a customer? You want them to say, mm-hmm, when they hear it, when they see it, when you speak it to them. This element, again, it shapes the character of your brand. And this allows your marketing to be on the same page regardless of the channel that it's on. The third piece of this that I'm talking about in this conversation is your controlling idea. This is the belief that shapes how your brand behaves. It guides, again, back to the core message, it guides everything that you do. The belief that shapes your brand's behavior. During my session at the JMI conference, I showed a slide early on in the session that I referenced later on in the session when we were talking about the controlling idea. A controlling idea for my business is AI serves human connection, it doesn't replace it. And so, because that's my controlling idea, every tool I create, every time I teach strategy, every one on one conversation is aligned with that idea. I'm not, if you're looking for somebody to tell you, oh, just use the tool to do everything, I am not the person for you. Because I believe AI doesn't replace human connection, it serves it. And so I lean on the humans involved in the process first. And then the AI brings it up in the rear and covers down and watches the six and all of the other military metaphors that I could throw in there. Anyway, these elements, I want you to think about these elements when it comes to defining the character of your brand so you can get closer to the clarity that allows you to be able to filter advice, tools, hacks, trends, all of those things. Dealing with marketing that already isn't performing the way that you wanted to, and then having to filter so much noise that is out there, that just adds to the exhaustion. It makes it worse. And I don't want that for you. So if you are wondering if it's time that you actually do this, because the truth is, you can get by without this stuff. You can. Your business can grow splendidly without doing this work. But if the weight, the burden of having to be consistent and come up with ideas, or even use the AI tools to help you come up with ideas, and it just feels heavy or heavier than it used to be, it feels harder than it used to be, it's less effective than it used to be, that's a sign. If you have in-house marketing support or you have a marketing vendor, they are constantly coming back to ask you for direction. Or let's say you don't have a team yet because you're not sure what to delegate. I've talked in my previous content about a previous version of my business. I was a social media manager, and every month that I sat down with clients, there would be friction about the content that we created and whether they whether they thought or believed it aligned with their brand. That constant friction was the source of me making the shift to consulting and focusing on this. So if you're working with a vendor and there is friction, y'all are on different pages, that's a sign too. Or your content is just inconsistent. You're not consistent in the rhythm or the pace that you publish, and you're also not consistent in the message. You're talking about this on one thing and talking about this over here and doing this over here and showing up here. It's inconsistency across the board. Those are all signs that it might be time for you to do this work. It might be time for you to go back to your foundation. I like to describe it like this. It's scaffolding. This work is scaffolding for the marketing plans that you might already have in place, because you may not need to build from scratch. You just have gaps that need to be filled, and I can help you do that. This matters. This work matters because as AI continues to take up more room in the marketing space, it is going to be harder to stand out. It is going to be harder because consumers are going to become more suspicious. It is going to be harder because there is so much content out there. It's so much. And so if you're not clear on these things that allow your brand to be a unique, I was going to say individual, unique entity that is memorable and meaningful, it's going to be a tough hill to climb. So I'm sharing that with you in the hopes that it would allow you to recognize that if it's a disconnect there, you can acknowledge the disconnect and then let you know that support is available for you. If you've been getting by without it, okay, that's, I get it. It's possible to do that. And at some point, it will stop working. And so I hope you will recognize if you are in that season right now and give yourself the permission, give your brand the opportunity to grow by clarifying your, getting clear, clarifying your brand's character, defining your character, revising or maybe even expanding your intended customer personas, and then developing a system that allows you to be consistent in message and consistent in frequency of appearance online and even offline, regardless of the channels that you operate on. And so, if this conversation resonated with you, I want to tell you about a pop-up training I'm doing. If you're watching this live or before June 26th at 4 p.m., I am hosting a pop-up training going deeper into what we just talked about. This is we gonna pull the whiteboard out. Like we're just gonna take this conversation up a notch to help you start to jumpstart that brand clarity work that is so necessary now, and I believe will become even more important in the years to come with AI being in the space. So if the conversation is resonating with you, if it's stirring something in you, like if your stomach is hurting or you got a little drip of sweat rolling down your armpit right now, that is not an accident. There is a link attached to this video for you to register. The training is free, 30-ish minutes. That's it. I'm not trying to be on there all day, and I'm not trying to have you on there all day, but we're going to talk about getting to the brand clarity. I'm going to be sharing some insights, some takeaways. We're going to be talking about how you can start defining what clarity looks like for you as a leader, so you can then delegate to marketing support, hire marketing support, have a better relationship with the marketing vendors that you work with, and you can know confidently that it's working, that you have everything you need to make decisions with confidence. You are no longer guessing. You are clear, and you can move in that direction to grow your business. So, if you have any questions after this broadcast has ended, don't hesitate to drop them in the chat. The link will be attached to this video either in the comments or in the caption. Again, my name is Monique James, and I work with business owners who are good at what they do that might not be marketing. And so they want support and help and guidance to plug the holes in their marketing strategy so they can confidently grow their businesses and leverage AI to do it. Thank you so much for tuning in. If I don't see you on the training, why wouldn't I see you on a training? Like, what are you doing? Sign up for the training, and I'll see you Thursday. Bye.